Hello and welcome back to our Save a Seat series here on Patreon. If you are listening to this, thank you so much for joining us. You are helping us with our mission, which is making opportunities reachable for everyone, for educating, inspiring people, and calling them to action. That is what we do here at More. So if you're joining us, thank you so much. I am your podcast host, Chloe, and we are continuing our Issue 9 Identity series where we talk to our contributors. We learn more about their lives, how they got started with More, why they decided to contribute to the identity article, and how they're feeling about it today. So thank you so much for joining me again, Andee.
Chloe, it's a pleasure.
I'm so glad. So for our listeners who did not listen to the Spotify episode, who are you and what do you do?
My name is Andee Simpson, and I am co-founder with my sister of Loren's Alcohol-Free Beverages Retail and Distribution. We've got 2 alcohol-free bottle shops in Carmel, Indiana, and a wholesale distribution line.
Amazing. And you wrote a wonderful article in Issue 9 Identity about sobriety, what led you to it. And oh gosh, I was mispronouncing it before, but it's Daoism.
Taoism, yes.
Taoism? Okay, yes, Taoism. Wonderful. And we talked a little bit about, what that meant in your life and the journey that led you to it and to sobriety. So, if you didn't listen to that episode and you're listening to this, go listen to it on Spotify and come back and join us. But I wanted to get a little bit more into the last thing that we talked about was your company and the drinks that you make and the conversations that you have. I feel like we opened up so much good conversation that could be had. But my first question is you had mentioned there were some other things about these drinks that people don't necessarily think about. Like I certainly don't think about those things when alcohol free comes to my mind. Like I think about the alcohol free beer, the wine, like the very basic stuff. But it sounds like you guys have expanded and thought about like how else could drinks be fun? Like, not just having a
So,
water bottle or,
yes,
it's
let me tell you.
yours gross anyway.
So the majority, probably 35%, like gaining the majority of what we sell at our store are what we call functional beverages or nootropics. Um, these are drinks that have adaptogens. Adaptogens are supplements in beverages that help you adapt to stress. Now, those kind of go into 2 separate categories. Some sort of energize you, give you their mushrooms for super cognition, for energy, for like just feelings of wellness, feelings of uplifting. If you're going to go out and be social, you might want a Hayo because it's got ashwagandha and some mushrooms, and it's a fun drink, and it's got these floaty sort of feelings if you're stacking them or if you're drinking a couple. The second category are drinks that sort of relax you. So kava is a really popular ingredient right now. It's from the Pacific Islands. It's around Fiji. It's been used in rituals and ceremonies for thousands of years. It'll kind of even numb your tongue and your mouth, and it just chills you out. Love these drinks that have different functions, and they're not super sweet, they're not super sugary, they're surprisingly low in calories, but they're interesting to drink, and you can feel the effects in ways that you might want to feel something if you go out and be social, or if you want to feel something at home. It's a whole new category that especially Gen Z, some of the younger people are interested in. And then going home, having great sleep, going on to the next thing and doing what you need to do. But there's some really fun drinks that exist right now.
That certainly sounds appealing, and it piqued my ears because I have a brother who is Gen Z and got like super into kava for a while. Like he was mixing it up and making like teas and smoothies, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yes. Kava is like there's like some strange things about legislation in kava right now because it's kind of on the precipice of like should we be using kava, but I feel like kava is very safe. There's just not enough studies right now, and I feel comfortable drinking kava. It's
Yeah.
very bitter, and if you were just to go buy like a supplement at Fresh Time, it is very powerful tasting supplement. But we've got a spirit that's like a strong that you could add to like a soda or like a seltzer, like a LaCroix or something. And then we've got a couple kava drinks that are really fun, and they're delicious, and you feel the effects of kava. So I think kava is great.
Lovely. And, isn't that true of so many things? We just don't know enough about it, and that makes people
True.
scared, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Tale's old as time.
Exactly.
I went to the doctor recently. I have had anxiety since I was a very little kid. Like, it's been a journey that I've been on for my whole life. And she recommended ashwagandha as just a natural replacement for, like some kind of psychotropic medication. Like, it would be more of a natural approach to like an anti-anxiety, right?
Yes. Yeah. The thing about ashwagandha that I sometimes hear is that it affects different people differently. So some people it kind of energizes them, and some people it sort of relaxes them. But ashwagandha is powerful enough that if you like it and if it works, then it can be a really great tool in your toolkit.
Yeah.
So
And
I would
it's
recommend Taoism.
true. Again, that's true of so many things. Like, it's
Right?
going to affect you differently based on who you are, what's in your body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you going to be at the launch party?
I unfortunately am not. I have a wedding out of town, so my family and I are loading up in our cars and driving to Iowa. So,
Okay. Well, I gotta connect with somebody because I'll get something your way. I'll
oh,
send you
thank you
something.
so much. I come up to see Ariana pretty regularly, or she comes to me. So,
Yeah.
we get connected, and I would absolutely love. I'll order something from you. Like, I'm so in.
Awesome. Awesome.
So you mentioned that, Daoism has played a role in your life. Did that come before or after the founding of Loren's Alcohol Free?
I've always read about it. I've always been interested in it, but I think meditating or having not having the anxiety that I also experienced and just having a calmer lifestyle, it really it came to the forefront and it became much more natural and a much better fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just when the time is right. Like I love to read self-help and I love wellness and I love all of that, but you can read about it all you want until the time is right to do it, I guess. Just things fell in place and I just really loved how it all kind of came together and it was a new piece in my toolkit.
Yeah. And I feel like people, regardless of what substance it may be, but when it comes to sobriety, they would agree with that sentiment, that you're going to know when the time's right. You're going to feel it in your gut.
Yes. Yeah, and I tried to stop probably from when I knew that I needed to stop to when I stopped was probably 10 years. It was probably a decade. And there were stops and starts and I
Mhm.
just, you know, different time I wasn't like constantly trying to stop for 10 years, but I knew that I did for a really long time. And
Yeah.
then when I really knew it, it was not hard at all. And then all these wonderful things started happening that I had no idea were gonna happen, and it was like, I will never go back, and my life is too amazing.
Yeah.